the sun when it rises in its strength. So we'll be all God's people who dare to love him. They will mount up like the birds on high, and none will go weary of the joy you bring. Everything you do is in time, like the day you saved our souls. Everything we feel is for a while. This you made us know that you love us and you handle us. Never wanted to let go one of us. Love us and you handle us. Never wanted to let go one of us. You love us and you handle us. Never wanted to let go one of us. Love us and you handle us. 'Cause we are something good, something right. You are something special in my life. All of my days, I want to praise you with every beat of my heart. 'Cause I know that your word is true. 'Cause you are something good, something right. You are something special in my life. Oh, you are something good, something good, something right, and something special in my life. God bless you.
For those who are watching, you can share Mazizi Njanja Media, they're going to share so that we can get the whole world watching this, but we're already live. One more time, put your hands together for Bemsa. Bemsa in the house. Thank you so much for doing that. I want to welcome the convener or the founder of the Abba Poetry Club. He's here. He's none other than Happy Prince. Can we just appreciate Happy Prince? Welcome to our club now, Nigeria. Come on now.
Good afternoon. I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, "Let Nigeria win." I can hear you. Now, I want you to tell from the way your neighbor has said it, if they mean it. So can we do that again? Let Nigeria win. Maz is not saying let Nigeria win. So can we do that again? Let Nigeria win. So, whatever issues we have as a country, as a people, it is because we have refused to give our victories to our country. Because we still see ourselves and our tribes or ethnic nationalities as supreme. And like Dr. Mo just said, if we must build a nation, then we must think Nigerian in everything we do. It begins when you leave your house, how you behave at the traffic light, how you behave at the toilet, even if you have to go and ease yourself now, because it's in the little things that we do. Because sometimes when we talk about patriotism, we think that it's just it's one big thing. No. Patriotism is those little things that you do. So you use the toilet, you flush it. That is also patriotism. So that is also letting Nigeria win. So this afternoon, I want to tell a story, and it's about a country. There is a place, there is a people whose condition defies logic, full of promise, full of pain, land of desert, land of rain. For look this way and she makes us proud, but look that way and she forces our hand. A place of deep contradictions, So how can you sort them out? How can you solve the puzzle of an ego that scratches around in the dust, of a giant that crawls around on its knees, so tall in talents, so short in exploits? How can you square this circle? How can you straighten the crayfish condition bent? Tell me, tell me. I see a man sitting at the corner, writing our story in blood. His hands are red from dressing canvases with the blood of the innocent. I see women screaming, "Bring back our girls!" But the eerie whisper of Leah Sharibu still haunts the night. I see a light shining off hill, a bright light, but it is wrapped in darkness. I hear my eyes whisper a thing to my ears. We call this place Nigeria, where the people all sit in darkness, pushing and cursing each other, starting tribal wars. Now, all of us are burning. So I climb onto a podium in the arena and stand like Fela, like Christy, like Kimono, like Majek, like Okosun, like all the prophets of old. I stand to see. I see our past and the darkness that holds it. I see our present and the darkness that grips it. I see our future and how it can come. This is how our future can come. This is how our future can come. If that civil servant with a chance to loot, steal, corrupt, and cut away can choose instead to stand and say, "Let Nigeria win." If that judge, mobbed by threats and bribes, to free the guilty and imprison the innocent, to twist the law to the will of power, can choose instead to stand and say, "Let Nigeria win." If the legislature, with a chance to spend billions on crooked elections, can choose instead to stand and say, "Let Nigeria win." If the executive, with its finger on the trigger, ready to gun down peaceful protesters, but willing to sit down and talk with bandits, can choose instead to stand and say, "Let Nigeria win." If you and me, united by country, divided by tribe, with a chance to run this country down, can choose instead to stand and say, can choose instead to say as one, "Let Nigeria win," then you will see that markets will flourish in Obadibo. Graduates will find jobs in Obibo. Farmlands will grow safe in Ejebibo, and peace will return to Alibo. Then you will see that the rains will fall in the savannah, the grass will treat the Sahara, guns will fall silent in Zamfara, and peace will return to Nigeria, to this country, to this nation, full of promise, full of pain, land of desert, land of rain, and all it takes to break the jinx, to say to the eagle she can fly, to say tell the giant he can stand, to straighten the crayfish condition bent, and all it takes to break the jinx, to break our chains and set us free, is to dare say no to injustice and let Nigeria win. Let Nigeria win. Thank you. The next piece is titled "The Ordinary Man." Are there ordinary men in the room? Okay, there are no ordinary men in the room. Me, I'm an ordinary man. No. Is there an ordinary man in the room? You know, in 1999, in the 90s, when we were still kids, when I remember one of the episodes of Newsline that Frank Obaze, the presenter then, when Newsline was Newsline, you know, he walked through the streets of Lagos looking for the common man, and he never found one. So he would meet somebody and ask, "Are you a common man?" He said, "No, God forbid, I'm not a common man. It's not my portion." But you know, the funny thing is that nations are built by the common people. The Britain, the America that we talk of today, were built by the common people. It was the common people who fought in the American Civil War. It was the common people who led the French Revolution. So without the common people, there's no nation. And that is why when we say that democracy is government, what? Of the people, by the people, and for the people. The people they are referring to, common people. The people who are going to lead you are going to come from you to lead you. So what it means is that whatever the common people allow, and when we talk of labor, of course, it is the common people who make up labor. So it is not a term that denigrates. No, it does not denigrate. Are you getting what I'm saying? It is not a term. It's not a term that talks you down. Okay. The ordinary man. Before dawn, his day breaks. Beside a loving wife, holding delicate newborn in hungry arms, her beauty weak and pale. On muddy floor, the rest of their 12 lie, an army of yawns, praising hunger for foodless days. In one room, poverty has forced his world to live, die, wake, exist. Hope in hand, he hits the streets, racing from menial to menial, showing God reasons to bless. Then like clarion, a rally calls, the big politician is here. The big politician is here. The big politician is here. Men at attention stand, waiting for what may fall off his hand. Agenda, agenda, agenda. Agenda, agenda, agenda. Agenda, agenda, agenda. All he says, all he screams, fresh promises he brings. For the blood of their votes, the same the dead the son to get. But applause here, there, everywhere. Bewildered he turns, waiting his eyes at light, his ears too. For up his chest, his hands clapped. Confused, he turns and walks away home to the ones who truly matter, his family, the ordinary people he leads like an ordinary man. Thank you.
I know we can appreciate Happy Prince even much better. If you are in this room today, you are an ordinary man. Better clap for yourself. You will not believe the strength that you are made of. You won't believe. If you're here in this room, it means, number one, you are very objective. You are very decisive, and you are fearless. Because some of the people who you look up to and think don't even have the courage to walk into this place. But in a few minutes and moments from now, you will even begin to see a mirror of yourself and understand the parable that I'm alluding to. Because there is a generation to lead. There is a wave that has already been awakened. That energy will never go to sleep again. I know that this grammar is too much, but sometimes it's good to just have it for the record because people are watching from all over the world what is happening here. As we speak right now, some people can't even cross Nyanya. I remember exactly a couple of months ago when we led the protest, not against any individual, not for any individual, but holding our institutions to account. And while we stood in the Unity Fountain, people were told in Gwagwala that don't go there, they stop people from Buhari and everywhere. And I got on the truck and I said, we are here. You could feel and eat the fear, the palpitation, just like many are feeling today as we are right here. And I remember what I said when I got on the truck, that God forbid, the day that we cannot come out in our own country to speak truth to power like we're doing today, then that day should never be born. That day should never be born. Dr. Peter, it's good to have you here today. Please help me appreciate Dr. Peter. Let's acknowledge him here. Thank you, Dr. Peter. We'll be coming up now to go into the agenda for a while. We're here. We're already at it. But if you hear what I said, the old order are so sure about one thing. Like your father, like your grandfather. You know, when people have experience in something, they do not believe that change can ever happen. Change, I mean in terms of altering what they already know, because they have experience. But again, change is the only constant thing. And out of the energy that has already been awoken in this side of Global South, things are going to change. Today we are here to talk about democracy. We're here to talk about the judiciary. We're here to talk about the protests and the in-between. This is what we're here to talk about today. If you have the courage, put your hands together. And our first speaker will be speaking to us in just a short moment, all the way from the United States of America. If we're ready, let the screen roll. Dr. David Ogula. Please put your hands together.
Fellow compatriots, I am delighted at the opportunity to discuss a crisis we're facing. I am particularly delighted to be in the midst of people I consider some of the best and brightest minds to have come out of Nigeria since independence. Since independence, in my mind, provides an important context to advance this conversation. But I will not bore you recounting the history of Nigeria, because that's not the purpose of this conversation. Let me begin with an anecdote that illuminates the crisis that we're facing in Nigeria today. Imagine you're afraid of flying, and you only fly because you have to. You suppress your anxiety and fear of flight. You board a plane to wherever your destination may be, perhaps to Abuja. The plane's doors close, the plane is pushed out of the gate, and the pilot taxis steadily while flight attendants demonstrate safety procedures which you listen to uneasily, while at the same time saying your prayers under your breath. The plane turns and comes to a stop at the start of the runway. Then the engines roar, and the aircraft thrusts forward and starts to take off run. Gathering speed, your breath racing, and your prayers instantaneously gather speed, perhaps at the same rate as the aircraft. The aircraft lifts up, and the rooftops in the surrounding neighborhoods become visible as little humps in the shrinking surface. Suddenly, you realize that the aircraft is not gaining altitude. As a passenger on board that plane, what would be going on in your mind? And more seriously, imagine you're the pilot. What would you do? As a passenger, you have a few options other than to ask God to save you, your life, or accept you to his glory. But as a pilot, what would you do? Even as a passenger, would you be calm and ask for refreshments to be served? Or as a pilot, would you ignore the tragedy you're facing? Or would you recline and bask in the fact that your plane has not gained altitude and that you, your passengers, and crew members are about to perish? Would you sip a glass of beverage in that moment? Again, what would you do? No one will doubt how frightful such a crisis situation is, though the story may sound extreme and perhaps have no parallel in real life. There are real-life cases. On January 9, 2009, Sully Sullenberger, the pilot of US Air Flight 15491, dished his plane on the Hudson River. Sully Sullenberger's quick thinking, crisis management instincts, his knowledge, skills, and action saved all 155 passengers and crew members on board that plane. After he dished the plane on the Hudson, water began entering the plane through a hole in the fuselage and through cargo doors that had swung open from the impact. So as water entered, the flight attendants urged passengers to move forward, climbing over seats. One passenger was in a wheelchair. This incident occurred in the winter, where the air and water temperatures were about 19 degrees Fahrenheit or -7 degrees Celsius. and the air temperature was just 41 degrees and 5 degrees Celsius, respectively. Finally, Sullenberger walked the cabin twice to confirm it was empty before he disembarked. My fellow Nigerians, our country is in a crisis, and all of us are pilots in that plane called Nigeria, a plane that for many years has failed to gain altitude and stabilize at a cruising speed for advancement. We have been lurching ahead for almost 63 years without gaining altitude. Similar to the US Air flight that landed in the Hudson, your plane's engines have sucked in a flock of Canadian geese, or more appropriately, a flock of cattle egrets, symbolized by corrupt politicians, general subversive behavior, incompetence, apathy, docility, acquiescence, over-elasticity, and so on. And you only have a few minutes to make life or death decisions. How are we reacting? What is the role of the co-pilots and the flight attendants? There is no pun intended in this circumstance if we correlate the judiciary as flight attendants and the rest of us Nigerians as rescue boat crew members, many of whom on January 15, 2009 left their regular duties and headed for the rescue mission. In a few hours or days, the election tribunal will announce its decision on the petitions before it. Will the judiciary act like the crew of US Air Flight 15491 and begin the process of rescuing Nigeria from the plane in the rising waters of frustration and tension following the 2023 election? The incidents of the 2023 election were not a fluke. Nigeria's political culture is blanketed by primeval power plays, political chicanery, and superficial moralisms. What we witnessed during the 2023 elections were heightened versions of the way elections have been conducted in what we call a democracy in Nigeria. Rigging, vote buying, compromised electoral officials, violence, and even murders. The establishment class have only become more adept in their ruffian politics, and they enacted their act brazenly and dared Nigerians to act. What happened on February 2023 was not new. What was new, in my view, was a pre-election movement driven by young Nigerians who were poised to redefine democracy for themselves. They were genuinely yearning to participate in the democratic process, and they did, yet the establishment politicians dashed their hopes and hijacked political power. I say this subversion of the will of the people must not stand. Nigerians went into shock and seem to have retreated. It would be a grave mistake to ignore this shock-induced temporary pause as a retreat. What is the temperature of the country? Your guess is as good as mine. There is frustration, there's despair, there's anger, tension in the air. If the tension is ignored with impunity, as has been amply demonstrated, the situation will almost likely spiral into an inferno. But I caution against predictions based on aspirations and hopes instead of tangible facts. The establishment class may not be able to resist the impulse to violently suppress resistance. They are prepared to use their power and power apparatus to suppress and subvert the will of the people. But can the will of the people who are immersed in rising heat be easily suppressed? The establishment class will only stop if people power overwhelms them. We must also not ignore the tailwinds of the attitude to submit and hope for the better. This is crucial in our crisis management strategies because ignoring them will be consequential in determining our success or a return to the status quo. The BBC report on the 2023 general elections concluded the following. The first cracks have undoubtedly emerged in the old order that young Nigerians are trying to pull down. The question is, how far are they willing to go? This is our challenge. What do we think is the temperature from the heat caused by excruciating poverty, suffering, and hunger? How long will it take for the heat to push people into the point of a heat stroke? Would the judiciary ignore the rising heat and the possibility of a nation collapsing from the heat stroke of suffering? Nigeria is in crisis, and crisis calls for an appropriate and timely crisis response. If you know a pilot was drunk or an aircraft engine was faulty, would you, as a pilot or a passenger, fly calmly and leave everything to Providence? What if you had an incompetent pilot or an impostor as a pilot? What if you knew the pilots were unfit or uncertified to fly a plane? Would you say, I'll let her fly me to Abuja or wherever my destination is, then I'll make sure the next time that a certified pilot flies me? In the most common variant of liberal democracy, the powers of the majority are exercised within the framework of a representative democracy. But we saw this cardinal principle brazenly subverted in Nigeria. The Constitution and the courts, including the Supreme Court, limits the rights of the majority but protects the minority by passing bizarre judgments that secure the enjoyment of a few individuals. As we manage this crisis, we must strive to answer these questions and more. Who is speaking about defending the principles of democracy to those who claim to be models of democracy in the world? Who is speaking about equity, fairness, and justice to the world so that some may see the plight of Nigerians? Who is narrating the human story of suffering in Nigeria to arouse interest in an unfolding Nigerian story? Who is ensuring that these important topics are not consigned to 24-hour news cycles? The suffering of our people is a recurrent cycle. Therefore, our advocacy and activism must be persistent. My fellow Nigerians, I rely on words because it's a powerful medium of expression for human thoughts, and its power to influence, though somewhat diminished, is still potent. But its potency can only manifest if those influenced act upon the words they have heard. If your words don't move me, why would my words move you? In closing, I say the voice and power of the myriad youth should not be ignored. The task ahead is for the judiciary and all of us to ensure that they get the opportunity to build the Nigeria they desire and deserve. Thank you, and may God bless our works, energize and move us to execute the tasks that would need to rebuild a new Nigeria. Thank you once again. Goodbye.
I thought we can do much better than that. How many of you were listening to that intently? Intently. Thank you so much. I hope and I know you're listening, Dr. David Ogula, all the way from the United States of America. One of the things that makes us the greatest of humanity and of all black people on the face of the earth is the fact that everywhere you go on the face of the earth, you know, sometimes we say it jokingly, but honestly, it is the character of who we are as Nigerians. So anywhere you go and there are no Nigerians, pack your load and what? And check out, because that place is not a place that human beings can live. Everywhere you go, in the street, in the UK, in the US, there are communities in India, in Maldives, everywhere around the world we are there. Come on, Nigerians, put your hands together for yourself one more time and let's celebrate one of the Nigerians that is doing us proud all the way there in the United States of America, Dr. David Ogula. Thank you so much for that. I hope that it will be seeping in, and I am so graciously thankful that the whole world is watching this right now as we're here in this place. I would want to quickly just acknowledge the presence of Chief Comrade Peter Ame right here. Can we celebrate him? One of the chieftain of the Labour Party is here. Thank you so much. Thank you. So good to have you here. And also to my left, we have a youth leader, one who, you know, this is the beauty of our gathering today. So we have a chieftain of the Labour Party right to my right, and to my left is a comrade. Comrade Kalgu is here in our midst, a veteran in the PDP. Can we appreciate him? Come on, Nigerians. Appreciate him. Thank you. A youth leader. He's going to be talking to us too. And yes, a comrade, a true obedient to the core is here. A fearless, crazy one also. Mazin Namdi. Can we appreciate him? Appreciate my brother and friend from another mother. And we also have Namdi Hioma in our midst. Can you stand up? Let's recognize you. Those who have been doing things behind the scene like each and every one of us. I just want to quickly do that because they'll be coming up to talk to us here today. And yes, who better to get up on stage after Dr. David, a woman who flew in just to have this meeting with us. She doesn't live here. 30 years in the United Kingdom, but will come down to get on the street. A mother whose children have schooled and are everywhere around the world, but is completely restless until Nigeria is free. Ladies and gentlemen, help me receive this fearless, objective mama, lady. I used to tell her that you are completely an Oyibo, but she's here today. She's going to be speaking to us. How did your name escape my mind now? Very good. What's your name again? Ndidi Mbagu. Like I mean it, I had a brain freeze. I'm not Joe Biden, but truly, can you appreciate this lady?
Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to this Nigerian debate. Can you hear me? I am very happy to be in your midst this evening. So I'm just going to go straight to the point. I'm just going to read out what I have here. So if you listen carefully, you'll be able to get one or two things from it. Okay. So in the recent coup in Gabon, President Ali Bongo Ondimba was heard saying, "Call friends, make noise, make real noise." Can you hear me? Are you making noise? In the current dispensation in Nigeria, it is the right thing to do. We need to come out en masse and make noise. Shout if you like. Hit your pans and pots if you want. Do everything, but do not keep quiet. We must not keep quiet in the face of this injustice. If Martin Luther King kept quiet and said, "You go better," Obama wouldn't have walked through the White House as the black president. If Mandela sat in South Africa, de Klerk wouldn't have been standing, we wouldn't have had a standing ovation for de Klerk for ending violence, rape, and apartheid in South Africa. If Indira Gandhi or even the entire Gandhi family did not shout, India would probably have been extinct by now. Africa is the richest country, the richest continent in the world in terms of natural resources. Yet we remain the poorest. Why? Why is that? You may ask. The reason, my friend, is very simple. That is that we have kept quiet for decades. We have not made enough noise to dislodge the bone in our throats. We allowed it sit, choking us to death. We have done this for more than 6 decades, following our independence. Africa must arise. We must rise. Nigeria must hit those pans and pots. This is the time for us to do that. Women, let's fight the future of our children. Let's fight for the future of our children. Men, translated, it simply means a goat does not have birth in Theda, while an adult is at home. Where are you? Who speaks for the homeless, the hopeless? What about the Amajuris with no voice? Who speaks for them? Nigeria has one of the youngest populations in the world. Where are our youths? Where are you guys? Why are you not speaking? Why are you not banging your pans and pots? Why are you not on the street in the light of this injustice? Why? Nigeria, we blame everyone except Africans. We blame every other person, every other continent for whatever we have that is troubling us. Like a pregnant woman, we wait in anticipation for the issues. Like a pregnant woman, we wait in anticipation for the outcome of the Nigerian 25th of February 2023 presidential election by the judiciary. Are we not waiting? The outcome will definitely shape our future, our children's destiny. Will we be silent here? We will not be silenced any longer. We are the generation that will wrestle our oppressors until they release the bone crushing our necks. We'll keep talking. We're not going to keep quiet. We have nothing more to lose. We have absolutely nothing more to lose. He that is down fears no fall. We are all on the ground. We have people's knees on our necks for years. This is the time. This is the time. So, as my dear friend Peter Ogule would say, if not now, when? If not now, when? The story of Africa can only be told by the Africans. Not Europe, not USA, Russia, China, or any other continent. We are Africa. We are Nigerians. We must wake up and write our story. Thank you very much.
I'm sure we can do better than that, much better than that, much better than that. Feel the energy, feel the warmth. This life, no balance. Oh. Some people could just come, they talk soft. If you know what I mean. If you see this lady inside the truck a few months ago. So this voice that you're hearing, hear what she is saying, you know. Nigerians, are you here today? Happy Prince, let's do this quickly. Where is, what's his name again now? What's his name? Kish. Okay. Kish Roland, are you here? Please come up stage very quickly.
This poem is angry, furious at the fact that there are no changes. This poem is mad, crazy, loves to look like this. This poem is a monster. This poem is irate. This poem they gyrate. This poem they vibrate. It is done playing nice, wishes to pay the price, tired of all the lies. This poem is a delta of tears. It is the echo of our cries. When shall we smell the roses? Are the thorns in our brains not cruel enough? You try to replace them with chains, push us down with failed democracy, mock us with capitalism, flog us with messy education, slavery much. Centuries after our ancestors were abducted on a slave ship, we still find ourselves in mini dictatorship. They fake clean and talk about decency, but decency, these folks are so terrible at dancing, they keep stepping on our toes, and their brain has a pit so deep they can't deal with crypto, hoping to kill two birds with one stone, the bandit with two, but they can't clip our wings. We're strong on these two, we'll keep flying. This poem is red, it's an angry bird. This poem they gyrate, this poem they vibrate, this poem they irate, this poem they para. Even paramus know they use their head. For area where they sabi boy they turn cops 2 seconds now innocent people inside station. Spectabilis, if you come from where I stay, then you live below the poverty line. This poem has seen more sunsets than sunrises. You can call it the angry night. Angry over young people who do not realize how much the system institutionalizes. This poem is the shout that falls the walls of Jericho. This poem is the shout that falls the walls of Jericho, the stone that kills Goliath. This poem is a dream. Add the king to Martin Luther, the Oba to Obama, and still finds the time to add the hit to Hitler. If mockery is a gun, the Twitter tech team and Nigerian tech team meme is the trigger. This poem is a bullet, set to destroy the pillars of injustice, shot at the crooked system and its evil forces. Check below the lights. You'll discover a bunch of innocent corpses. Decisions are a luxury meal we can't eat. This poem is our invite to the table. We are tired of gnashing our teeth in anger. Some brothers have become vampires, some werewolves in sheep clothing. This poem is a traveler. It realizes that freedom is a journey, so it'll find its way to new bodies. This poem is the sun, breaking free from clouds of rain, switching like reciprocals. Glory to the brave and down with the chains. I said, glory to the brave and down with the chains. This poem is a muse, dressed, laced, and versed with anger. It is prayer, it is fasting, it is binding, it is casting, it is a song, a scream, a speech, a dream, a tweet, retweet, a chase, purchase, a bite, a smite, a spite, a night that fights for a right to freedom.
Keep clapping as Odd Felix makes his way here. Keep clapping, keep clapping. Keep clapping, people.
If you hear say I dey offline, no be say I dey depressed, no be say I take break from social media, I no gree buy data. Now my phone spoil. You see, as village people don't dey for city, be like say I city, if where I go work, results no go show. Results no dey climb stage, be like the insects don't chop the ladder. Life hard, even small pikin go tell you, but me, I go dey do wetin I fit do. So if you not hear me do poem again, no be say I quit poetry, no be say I take the money to record, go gamble. Now the studios, they're on strike. You see, not be every better way. Sometimes man get to find them own way. Even sheep, them get compass. With them, you go feed them make a go, no compass you. As I get hand, I don't go put my destiny for your own now. So if you say I don't die, not be say I commit suicide. Now nature talks say you don't do and a person kill me. As they breathe, they go, I got to do everything where I feel do to make me and my country better. I go be my pilot, my captain. And if nothing come work, make it don't be say me shut the office door. Make it be say I play my part, but condition carry the cup. So if yes, I no do again, no be say I no one do, no be say I don't give up. Now the end don't reach.
DG won't dare me, oh. Leave her now. This is my do my own now. You don't come to me like this. When I won't hear my own. Why are they violent like this? This broadcast does not support violence. Okay? For those who are watching, these people that are here are very violent, but this broadcast does not support it. Are you ready for my violence? I don't think you are. Isn't this beautiful? I mean, because we're coming to it. It is not my word. If we're still in court, but CY, who is now the chairman of the Bar Association, comes out to say, while we were still in court, I mean, I'm perplexed, speechless, that whatever is happening in court does not matter, that this is where he stands. Why can't you speak your mind? Somebody get Nigeria past you? I wasn't going to say this until my brother spoke to me. Now, there are several people that are supposed to be here today. Not that we need them. You know what I'm talking about. But we reached out to them and they were like, okay, we're coming to give speech and talk. And one of the Nigeria's oldest serving general. So that I want to see if you are going to run out of this place now. Came and said, Dr. Mo, we were talking with all the elders yesterday. They are supposed to be here today. No, I mean, PO was supposed to be here. That's what we're saying. And that they will not be here because they blocked Nyanya. May that day not be born. Are we violent? Not in the history of Nigeria. EndSARS was just 11 days. For 7 days we protested here. Not a single soul was lost. 70 days we were on the streets. We went to the American embassy. We went to EU. We went to INEC. We went to ECOWAS. We went to National Assembly. They were going to bring down the gate. We said, no. You bring down the gate so that these these people will now build the gate with 100 million. We will not give them that opportunity. Wasn't that what we said? Because we are wiser. We will not destroy our street light. When we went to the police headquarters, the police people came and they were crying while we spoke. We spoke about what we want for our country. We've traveled around the whole world. Like Ndidi rightly said, how can we be? Abuja has more gold, probably more than Ghana. But we have nothing. And then somebody says, do not speak, be afraid that they block road. That somebody said that day has not been born. That day has not been born. Dr. Seloka is here. I want him to sit right there. Let him come. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dr. Seloka and Honorable Ambassador Kesh also in the building. Let's receive our elders. We'll make adequate room for them to sit down right there. Welcome. Mazi. She can sit there. It's okay. And I'm so glad that even while speaking, you know, we have the echelon of the Obidadi campaign team coming in. It means that they are also, it shows that we have some shoulders that we can fall on. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the whole world is hearing this. I reiterate again. 70 days non-stop, 23 days on the ground, not a single soul. It has never happened in the history of Africa. Non-stop. Because it is our land. We picked after ourselves. We cleaned the street. We directed the traffic. Much more than the police and the soldiers could do. Because it is our house. This is our house. We didn't break street light. We refused to bring down the gate of the National Assembly so that we don't give them opportunity to go and use hundreds of billions to rebuild it. That's who we are. We are peacemakers. We are here to rebuild the ruins of our nation. That's who we are. And so if you are standing just, you must be decisive, objective, and fearless. And so why would not they watch all of una from Aso Villa, everything? Now Nigeria is ours. We own it. Those of you watching from Britain, America, and everywhere, we are here. Look everywhere, but this is our Papa. We die here. We die here. I am sure that even the judges, their children are talking to them to stand on the path of justice. There is no time in the history of humanity that an election has been this digitalized and televised. The import of the youth energy on the street in Zimbabwe, in Malawi, in Sierra Leone, in New York, all over the place over this election, never has it been seen. No, Atiku is not in court. PO is not in court. It is a justice system that is standing trial. And we know the fear, because we are standing and doing the right thing. And so we're going to go through some sessions right now where I'm going to bring up some people and we're going to ask questions. And the first in line that I want to invite here is none other but somebody that I have great regard and respect for. I'm going to be asking and challenging him this morning or this evening or this night. Help me welcome to sit here, Dr. Peter Piper. Please put your hands together as he comes up. Energy, come on, energy, 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 energy. Can we shout, let the whole world know that this auditorium is filled up? We're not empty here. Camera, show them we are here. After all, they are on strike, so there's no place to go. So now here with no be so. What better place to be in Nigeria than in this room? There's no better place. Because tomorrow there will be what? Tomorrow there's what? There's judgment. 72 hours before the fraudulent pronouncement, we broke through the ranks. We are here. All we were demanding, we saw the result and we knew that this is not the result coming out because every polling booth was published. So we broke through the ranks and say, Oga, what you are talking about is lie. And if you impute lie, what is going to come out? We are not calling any names. We are just holding the institutions accountable. And after the elections, we told EU, we told UN, we told all of them that, you know, but I'll say it here because they're also listening. When I sat with the UN resident, he said something. He said, Dr. Mo, I see you with over 1,000 people, but guess what? There's no blood on the street. So you see what is against us? And yet some people will say that some people are planning to do what? 70 days. Did anybody lose? Did we crack any place? In fact, we were even giving money, water to beggars and people. Isn't that the Nigeria that we want? And part of what we are going to do, we will penetrate every institution. What I mean is that the good people will go enter police, will go enter DSS, will go enter INEC, will go enter everywhere. Because if we don't enter, bad people wait there, go continue. So when they told me a few weeks ago, I went to UK, like my daughter would say, to go for a rest, 12 months of working. Jakpa, me, Jakpa. Jakpa. No, those of you who want to Jakpa, we will help you to go. Like I told you, we'll help you. But this place, we are here. We die here. Because we understand that there is too much at stake. And I want to bring another young, dynamic leader in our movement. Is the DG of the Big Tent. Malam Ibrahim Abdul Karim is here. Please. And I know that some of you that don't understand Hausa, zaku ji yaren sosai, zaku gane me muke ciki a ciki yau. Kun gane ko? Even if you understand, ka ce, kun gane ko? Yawwa shikenan gama tabas. Haka. I also quickly want to bring up Uncle Gambo. Please come up. Put your hands together for Uncle Gambo. Let him come up. Let him come up. Let him come up. Also another young leader. You see, we are here today. You cannot say it is. This is what the Nigerian debate is, not the obedient debate, is it? So help me welcome a youth leader, Calgo in the building, all the way. A staunch chieftain of the PDP is here. Let him come up. Let him come up. Put your hands together for him. Come on now. I reach out to some of the APC people that have been making noise online. I say, come because we want to ask you a question. Please, are you here so that they will not say we marginalize anybody? Are you here? Please, if you are here, all of you that, please, you can come. We are here. Because you are going to talk to us here so that the world can hear. Prof is not here yet, but Chief Dr. Ame is here. Dr. Peter Ame is here. Please make your way up to the stage. Make your way up to the stage. Prof is on his way. Fantastic. And I'm going to ask because my friend and brother, okay, Mazi, Ihioma, and Mazi Namdi, please make your way up to the stage. Make your way up to the stage. Ned, you have to put one more chair here because I'm bringing two elders up. It's going to just be, oh my goodness. Help me. I need put one more seat here. That's what I'm doing. I want both Mama Cecilia, please. Mama Jigi Jigi, please put your hands together for her. She comes up. And also, Mama Door to Door is here. I need two more seats. You know, Mama Door to Door, come here. And I need... okay, let's have that representation for that. Let's have Indidi Mbabu, please come here. Come here. Come here. Mommy, sit down right. No, I need you to sit down. Yes. So the woman will sit here. We need one more seat because I have to bring up Ambassador Cash and also our leader. You have to sit, so the women sit at the edge. Put this. Okay. Yeah, we can. Can sit. Okay, fine. Okay. I think we're okay. I need a microphone from there. We need an additional, just a microphone from there. We'll have, we're okay, we're well covered. Let's have you come up so you can join the women. Let's have one of the veteran mothers. Between you and Dr. Who is coming up? Between you and no, wait. No, hold. Let's not suffer you too much. I need a young. Is there a lady that traveled at least 2-3 states during the campaign or anything? Is there any lady, young girl here? Is there any young person? They are shy. It's okay. I just need Maureen. Come up here. Come. No, it's okay. Just leave. She'll sit here. Please put your hands together for Maureen. Come. So at least they can see how the selection was done. So it's not something that was cooked somewhere. We don't cook result anyway. What you see is what you. That's what we're here for. And right away we're going to hit it up straight. You know, I want to. Do we have any lawyer amongst us here? But let's attempt this. I want to see who can help us out here. What is the difference between a runoff and a rerun? Can somebody help us? Now, these are open questions. They're not directed. They are questions directed as you can do that. Dr. Peter, can we appreciate him?
Well, rerun means exactly what it says. You run It was inconclusive, and you are running again. Rerun. But a runoff means you ran and some people fell off. So those who fell off will not be a part of those who will run again.
I think that's an excellent job he has done with that. What you're saying, because we need to break, you know, we have energy and passion here. But energy and passion without strategy is useless. So that your candidate will not be the one that will join the runoff. I will not be able to rerun. Because what we're here to do also is to educate people. Because tomorrow, no, give him the mic because we're going to go around like that. Tomorrow, from the judgment, they're either going to be a runoff, or a rerun, or what? Or a no run. Do you understand? So that if there is a rerun, you know, from the INEC, I didn't say your own, from INEC stipulated agenda, in 1, 2, 3, for the bulk of the people here, I'm an obedient. They said that we came third. Isn't that so? It means, Dr. Peter, from what you're saying, if there is a runoff.
If there is a runoff, it's going to be between 1 and 2.
Did you hear that? Now, do you understand the meaning of runoff? Somebody say it depends. Please talk to us. Give him the mic. That's Doctor.
If there's a runoff and the first person is disqualified as we requested,
Aha.
It will be between us and the other.
Aha. Give Dr. Peter, Dr. Ahmed, still holding the mic. I want to move to the question. What happens if Tinubu is disqualified at the tribunal tomorrow? What is going to happen?
The issue is we are in a democracy, and the judiciary has been given the authority to do whatever in line with the stipulated laws, regulations and constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If they decide that evidence put before them is substantial enough for a runoff not to include Tinubu, so Tinubu will have a right to go to Supreme Court to look at the case again. But that judgment will stand, and the two who have been asked to do a runoff will continue to rejoice until the Supreme Court either affirm the judgment of the Presidential Election Tribunal or decide otherwise. But everyone will not fall.
Wow. I want to feel the energy in this room. I want to feel the energy in this room. Let me know if Tinubu is disqualified tomorrow, what is going to happen in Nigeria? Doc, not be me, or they said there will be celebration all over Nigeria. I'm not the one that said it, though. All right, give Uncle Mazi the microphone. What happens if Peter Obi is said is disqualified based on technicalities tomorrow? What is going to happen?
No, first of all, no heaven will fall because of anybody. That is why I felt very, very insulted or assaulted as a Nigerian when Justice Mary Odili the other day was speaking and said we shouldn't bring down the roof. What roof? We can't bring down the roof. This is our nation. And all we're asking for is, according to the book, the Constitution, do justice to all. Do justice to the system. The Nigerian state deserves justice. No one individual should be above the nation. Not one person. Not one person. So heaven will not fall if we get justice done tomorrow. And these 5 justices have an opportunity to save themselves and save Nigeria. Because should they uphold this illegality, then the Nigerian state is going to be seen as a crime scene, a crime center, where you just grab it, run with it, and that's what will be defined as election. So, first of all, to answer your question about POT tomorrow is the only candidate in that election that they announced, this so-called who is president now. In that election, he's the only one who goes to places in the mosque, in the church, in supermarkets, in motor parks, and Nigerian people gather to receive him. So we know who was voted. We know who the Nigerian people voted, irrespective of the zone, whether north or anywhere Peter Obi goes to. The Nigerian people, including those in power, they struggle to take pictures with him. He is the legitimate candidate that won the election. So, however, should our Lord Justices, the 5 of them, decide otherwise and say, oh, like Justice Odili attempted to do, you know, because as far as I was concerned, she was acting a script. Of course, if you observed thoroughly in that outing, there were moments she wobbled because she was veering possibly off the script. That script won't work. No, it won't work because we, the Nigerian people, first of all, we own the legitimacy. We, the Nigerian people. And anybody who thinks that under this democratic dispensation that we can be gagged, that the Nigerian people can be stopped from expressing whatever their displeasure towards the system is, then they are joking.
Wow.
No, it's a joke. It's a huge joke.
Wow.
This is my country. Thank God you went out there to rest. I will not go anywhere to rest. Here is home. Here is home. If I can't rest here, then this is not home.
Wow.
All my life. Wow. And hear this. I said this with every sense of responsibility. All my life, I'm 46 years old today. I've only left Nigeria 3 days. Wow. Only 3 days, all my life. Wow. Where did I go to? The place where the Aburi Accord was signed. That's where I went to. I went to sit down there and feel the pulse of the founding fathers of this nation. So our Lord Justices need to understand the spirit behind our corporate existence as a people. This is an opportunity for us to institutionalize the system that would work for all.
Wow.
Or we promote a system that will be defined as plutocracy, which is government of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich.
Wow.
If that's what we want to practice here, fine. But if this is the democracy as we want, then they are joking to think that they can gag us.
One more time. Come on, appreciate.
Our Lord Justices will do justice.
Wow.
Should they not do justice? Well, unfortunately, they themselves would have been the ones that have defined for us that Nigeria is a chaotic place, a crime scene where during the election you don't need to be peaceful. You don't need to be. If you don't need to follow the books, you don't need to obey INEC. All you need to do is on that day grab it and run with it.
Wow.
That would be a sin.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Let's appreciate Mazi Nnamdi for that answer. Thank you. Thank you. By the way, I went to look for Lord Lugard. That's why I went to the UK.
That's good, man. That's good.
I went searching for him because I wanted to find out. I didn't go to rest. Went to find out.
How he joined this place with Flora Shaw, Northern and Southern Protectorate. That's what you went to find out.
I want, to see him and thank him, really, because Lord Lugard did something beautiful. You don't know? Beautiful. And Flora Shaw, we have to thank her for life. Before you came, you know, Niger is from the word nigger, which means black.
Dark area.
Dark area. Even white comes from what? From darkness, from blackness. So we are the black people. Gold, uranium, everything that is good comes from what? And we were named after the most beautiful thing that can ever exist in humanity. Black people, we are the same people. And also, I wanted to ask him how he knew. The reason why Nigerians are the most industrious people, because we were formed out of trading. This is a trade center. Slavery, trade, this is the trade center.
Yeah.
You know, some people make a joke and say, look at you people. Is it not just, do you know what it means that trade? Has money ever joined you and somebody? It is money that has joined the elite class together. That is why they don't. Do you understand? White supremacy, it is the sweetest thing that has brought us together. And River Niger is the spiritual river. We are spiritual people. We are, you know, you see, if you say you are Mami Water people, you think it's a joke. This microphone is Mami Water. It's just that they used it well, but came to disrupt us. So we are born out of blackness. We are black people. industrious people. That's why anywhere you throw Nigerians, they take trade. Everywhere. Everything all over the world. So one more time, appreciate Lord Lugard. They didn't do, if God has destined you for greatness, even your enemy will call you your real name.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see him, but also I would have conked him small, you understand? But thank him. So, by the way, I just said that to say that is why I traveled. So 1-1. It was 1,000,001 before.
It's okay, bro.
All right. All right. Cargo, you are a young person. You have done fantastic. If tomorrow, and I like the fact that you can see, as a leader in the Atiku wing, if you are one of those judges tomorrow, number one, what are you going to do? And if Atiku is disqualified, what is going to happen?
First of all, God forbid bad thing. Che Igwe kwenu, Yoruba kwenu, Hausa kwenu, Nigeria kwenu. Lot of things have happened, and I am angry because this is supposed to be been done more than like 2 months ago, not now. Wow. We should have come together to do things like this 2-3 months back, so that we can unite properly and face the enemy. Enough of all these things that are happening. Nobody is asking any questions. These leaders, they have Nnamdi Azikiwe back then. They have Obafemi Awolowo back then. And also Sir Ahmadu Bello. But who do we have? We have nobody. These are people that build a better bridge for them to cross. But we have nothing. If Atiku is disqualified tomorrow, I don't want to talk now, but along the way I will talk before the programs end. It's not even going to happen because Atiku won the election. And we know what happened. We have all the records. They go around, all the Abado boys making noise, all sort of nonsense. Sorry to put the word nonsense. But we're going to just watch and see what they're going to do tomorrow. And nobody here, is there anybody here that read the Constitution here?
The question is, if Atiku is disqualified tomorrow, what is going to happen? It's a straight question. It's not for you to say whether if he's disqualified. We've answered that here for Tinubu, for Obi. If Atiku is disqualified, what is going to happen?
A lot of things is going to happen. Because enough is enough. We're not going to take it. We're going to watch it, and then we're going to take action on it because we know Atiku won his election. So we're going to stand for our rights, and then we're going to protect our votes. Thank you.
Thank you. I thought that deserved an applause. I mean, he's answering the question, right? Yeah. I want to ask Ibrahim Abdulkarim Malam, who will be the umpire if there is a rerun or a runoff in this election?
This is very tricky because I don't know, Gambo, Gambo cannot be, I cannot be, and the INEC that we took to court, I don't think, because the indictment is on who? And so I think we can do something better. Maybe they can do, we have a lot of books, we can go through our edition and check and see if we can sack some people and see if we can have another.
No, but as we speak right now, Professor Yakub Mahmoud is still the chairman of INEC in Nigeria. The whole world is watching us here. Alhaji Ibrahim Abdulkarim, tomorrow is Judgment Day.
Yes.
We're here on ground zero in the capital city of Abuja.
Yes.
There is going to be judgment tomorrow.
Yes.
If there is a rerun or a runoff, who is going to be the umpire of
Actually, it's not going to be INEC of Yakubu. We Nigerians will come out. It's not going to be him.
Dr. Peter, can we hear you?
It's not going to be.
Well, if we insist that this is not a banana republic, then we should really behave like we are not in a banana republic. If you are in the university and you fail an exam, what happens? You go for a receipt. So I don't see why we are all so frightened about this. We have the INEC chairman, and his name is Mahmoud Yakubu. So if he failed, and if the judicial system thinks he failed, then he should go for a receipt. And secondly, let's look at this dispassionately. Constitutionally, who appoints the INEC chairperson? Your constitution is so funny, and you're sitting here applauding Mo when he keeps on praising a criminal. You know, Mo has said beautiful things about a man that I know is a criminal. And you know the man, and they taught you a wrong history. And that's why my friend Mo traveled all the way to the UK searching for a criminal named Lugard, who criminally brought together people who have no cultural or ethnic ties together. And he created this problem we are faced with right now. So our constitution clearly says, except you change it, and you can't change it between now and tomorrow, that your president appoints the chairman of INEC. In other words, I appoint the person. You know, it's like Man U and Chelsea is going to play, and you tell the coach of Man U to appoint a referee. What were you thinking when you were writing this? So we already have an INEC chairman. His name is Mahmoud Yakubu, and I think he should conduct it again while we write his history for him.
Thank you very much, Doctor. What I'm trying to say is very simple. Somebody come up on television or and tell me he is going to grab it and run with it. So what I'm telling Nigeria is that if you see things that are not well written in the Constitution, it's right for us to sit like this and make sure that we change that what is affecting us so that we can do the right thing. We can't be complaining of things since 1960 and also always see it. That's why when Ndidi came on here, she said what? We should keep talking. Let me tell you what happens today. Is the talking that we continue doing that we have a presence today and we are talking, and tomorrow they are televising the, what do you call it? They are televising the judgment. If we keep quiet and make reference to the old system and the faulty things around us, then they are going to keep on riding on what they are doing. We have to stick and stand to the change that we want. And we must create the change ourselves. And we are too many for that.
Wow. Wow. Give the mic. Can we appreciate it even much more than, come on now. I want to take on Ihioma just before I return to Uncle Gambo here. But we hear you loud and clear in the submissions that you have made. Is America part of our problem?
Dr. Mu, I know a musician.
You don't have a visa yet?
I know a musician that came from Nigeria. And he became one of the greatest artists in the world. And he sang one song, Suffer, suffer for work, enjoy for heaven. Archbishop Ingo, they talk. Allahu Akbar. Open your eyes everywhere. Archbishop na meliki. Pope na enjoyment. To cut it short, that was what Fela said to us. And Fela sang a song, and he said this, suffering and smiling. The biggest problem we have is us, Nigerians. There is no America that is causing your problem. The day we wake up becomes our morning. We have been sleeping, and we're still sleeping. The day we decide to wake up as a country, when we want to say enough is enough, enough will be enough. One of the biggest problems we have is not America, it's not UK, it's not even the man who put us together criminally. It's because we have decided to sleep and keep quiet. And we're snoring. Now, the danger in where we are, you can be snoring in an AC room, it's understandable. But when you are snoring in a roof on fire, I think you need help. You are snoring in a tidious river. The sea is flowing you. There's turbulence and you are still snoring. The last time I checked, your name is not Jesus. I think that's the problem we're having in this country. We are still snoring. Brisley, they took the election from you. The judges started what they do. I was watching social media yesterday and I was looking at all the election counting sections. All I was hearing was 75 OB. I go to Imo State, I was seeing 20 OB. I went to Lagos State, I was seeing where votes were counted. And I was looking for one place where they grab it, hold it, and run with it was counted. I didn't see anyone. Yet, they declared them winner. And we're still, blame nobody but yourself.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You know, one thing more, just like what my brother here says, it's absolutely right. And we caused all this problem ourselves. Because we are also, we should have been coming onto a program like this for a very long time. It is in this same country whereby you have somebody from Lagos. If there's a problem in Sokoto, he'll be like, I don't care, let them deal with their problem. Somebody from Kebbi, if there's a problem in Enugu, he'll be like, I don't care, let the Igbos go. This is where we got it wrong from the beginning. We are not united. And let me tell you one funny thing. You see, these are our leaders. They are not afraid of the youth, whether you like it or not, because they know we easily compromise. That is our biggest problem. Thank you.
That brings us to what you're saying is very, very serious. Remember the introduction we did here about the tool of politics, ethnicity, religion, and how they use that against us. In Europe and in the West, what they do is that they introduce black and white to divide the people. But when you come back home, they use religion and ethnicity to divide us and to continue.
Yes, sorry. Let me introduce something. The ever time Nigeria made progress in the history post-independent is when young people decided to take the bull by the hand. And they decided that this is the direction to go. Our leaders, whether they were military, whether they were civilians, as at that time, they made progress. Please, check their age gaps and brackets. Find out those people who made progress. The Nnamdi Azikiwe, the Awolowo, how old were they when they were making progress? 40s. How come you and I are standing here and let ancestors rule us and tell us where to go, and yet we refuse to stand up? How come we are standing here? Ancestors are making decisions for young people. My mates out there are out of politics. I'm 52. Out there, my mates are out of politics. They're supposed to be leading people, but I'm still waiting for the youth who will be the last of tomorrow. I don't know what you are waiting for. I think it's time to stand up.
Kai.
Thank you.
I'm coming. I want to ask Mama Yara. I was in Lagos 4 days ago. The streets of Lagos was empty. I saw mothers trekking and walking because they can't even afford transportation. Mama Yara, I don't know whether you trek and came here. What are the women going to do? Because I saw mothers, and out of, I don't know how to react to it, but what message? He's spoken to the youth that will allow, in any case, the reason we are here, because we have more questions for some people, and that's why you can see the question we're asking objectively, but fearlessly. And somebody said, if Tinubu is disqualified tomorrow, nothing's going to happen. And yes, some people expect that he'll be disqualified. Because I'm not the one that said it. But primary school, certificate, no day. Secondary school, university,
no day.
Chicago State University had to close all their portals because Nigerians bombarded it. So while I agree that Nigerian youth, yeah, what we haven't done is break down the system. But Nigerian youths are awake. They are awake. There is an elephant. A lion has been touched. And that lion is not going to sleep anymore. No, let me tell you, inside this place, I know there are DSS inside this place sitting down. And they are watching it right now in G20
and they are watching our program. You don't know they are watching? There is no other place on earth that this meeting is happening. It's only happening here in Abuja. The fact that this meeting can happen shows that we are fearless, number one. Number two, we know our rights. And we are waiting for them to do what they will do tomorrow. Are we not waiting for them? Are you not waiting for them? That we did protest for 70 days and did not destroy Abuja is because we know our rights. But Mama, before you answer that, now that we're touching on the heat of this, Dr. Peter, is military action an option for us? Let's go to the meat of this discussion. Because I'm coming for Prof. You're talking something. If the youths have known their right, they've come out to demonstrate and march everywhere. And yet, because we said, particularly, let me say this, because, and I will say it here, because P.O. said, don't be violent. He said, don't be violent. Otherwise, I can tell you that the worst of people are part of the obedient. We know how to snatch too. We know how to grab too. We know how to run too. You think PDP youth cannot do that? They can do it, but they chose not to because this is our house. And what you are doing, are you up there? Do you have the video of Falana? It's 3 minutes. Please play it right now. Play it right now before Dr. Peter responds to that. Play that video right now. So that let's hear as we attend to this question. This is Dr. Haruna Goro. Go to the next one. You people saw your president and you are mourning. Why are you mourning? Okay, play this, let's see. While you look for, just play this, let's see. Go back to Dr. Haruna Goro. Go back to Dr. Haruna Goro and see. Play it. Let's listen. Take a listen.
Hello, fellow Nigerians. A lot is happening. A lot is happening. This is your friend and brother, Dr. Haruna Goro. It's been a while, but I need to bring you up to date with what is happening in Africa. And if we are not careful, we will have something like that in Nigeria. Did you just hear what happened in Gabon? Let's not think that this may not happen in Nigeria. I want you to listen to what former President Jonathan said. He was virtually warning us as Nigerians, talking to those people who think that what is happening now with the young people are just disgusted with the way that elections are being done. The people that did not win elections are the ones that they are enthroning as presidents over nations. And that's why the people are standing up. Let's not be surprised if that happens in Nigeria. Don't sit down there and say, no, Nigeria is different. Was Nigeria not having many coups before? Is it because we have this thing we call democracy that is a sham? We all know that Tinubu was not legitimately elected by the people. That's why we must be careful. We're calling on the judges that are sitting on the election tribunal to make sure there is justice if they want peace in Nigeria. I want you to listen to what former President Jonathan has to say. You remember, during Jonathan's time, he said his ambition or his wanting to go a second term is not worth the blood of one Nigerian. That's why peacefully he relinquished power. But the current ones we see today, they want to hold on to power by hook or by crook. And that's why Jonathan is warning. We shouldn't think that because we have peace now, that it will be like that forever. I want you to watch it. Let me know what you have to say. What do you think about Nigeria?
Let me use this opportunity to advise us who are politicians and those of us who are in the security services that while we are doing the job we are meant to do, let us not, because the judiciary is very conservative, try to blackmail them or squeeze them. Sometimes when we have political powers, we get blinded. They say sometimes your wisdom is consumed with confidence. When we bear the big name, president, governor, all the speakers and so on, we become so blinded, especially even in the security services. When you're holding certain positions, become so blinded. But society is changing, and we must learn, we must admonish ourselves. And civil society is becoming very, very active. And certain things that probably we do and get away with it, we may not get away with it tomorrow. If we take laws into our hands and try to squeeze society, young people will react. It happens when I was the president in a sister country, Burkina Faso, where by their law, if the president is not there because they have no vice president, it's the speaker of the parliament that will take over the country and manage the country. The president wanted to amend the constitution so he go for a third tenure. And from the thinking of society, the parliament was compromised, so the speaker was to do it. The young people in Burkina Faso, the civil society, they mobilized and moved in to the parliament to kill the speaker. The security people couldn't defend it. The speaker has to run away. They burned down the parliament, the national parliament of that country. The mob moved into the state house to attack the president. The president defense squad that was even stronger than national army couldn't stop the mass movement. Otherwise, you kill everybody. The president has to run to Cote d'Ivoire. The country was in a quagmire. Their constitution said the president is not there, the speaker. Now the president ran away, the speaker ran away. Nobody to take over power. The military have to step in. So we, the politicians, and those of us who are holding sensitive security positions should know that society is changing so much and that we should do everything based on the rule of law.
We are all seeing what is happening in West Africa, how the military is taking over many of our African states. And don't sit down there and think that Nigeria is any different. You push the people to the wall, you never can tell what they are capable of doing. And that's why we are calling on the judiciary to do the right thing. See what just happened in Niger. We're not even done with that. And then there was an election last Saturday in Gabon. And they again stole the election, rigged the election, and this man wants to continue. Somebody that has been there 2 times and his family have been there for about 50 years or more, and he wants to go a 3rd time. And the people didn't vote him, but they used the Electoral Commission to rig him in. This has been happening from one nation to the other in Africa. When will this thing stop? That's why the army are now taking over power in Gabon after the election was rigged. And President Ali Bongo is said to be the one that has won the election. Obviously, the people didn't vote for him, but he forced himself on the people. So that's why the army came out and took over power. And he was there under house arrest, telling his supporters to go out. And we waited to see where the supporters were. And when the army came out, and now that they have taken over power, the nation, they went into celebration. People were all on the street cheering the army.
Another day, another military coup in Africa. This time in the Central African country, Gabon, where crowds are celebrating the toppling of 14-year President Ali Bongo, whose family have held power since 1967. A mutiny that unfolded shortly after his re-election announcement.
Les élections générales du 26 août 2023.
The general elections of August the 28th, 2023, as well as its full...
Thank you. Can we celebrate Dr. Haruna Goro? He's been consistent from day one, speaking truth to power fearlessly. He has been attacked several times. People have called him and spoken all kinds of things to him, but he has consistently maintained to continue to speak truth to power. I believe that the military cannot take over government in Nigeria, Dr. Peter. I know they will not, and they cannot, and they should not. Is military coup an option?
Let me begin by singing the national anthem of your country, you Nigerians. Let's interpret the content. The first word is what? Arise. Just forget every other thing. The very first word in your national anthem is what? Arise. Is that not your national anthem? Did it tell you to sit down? No. So why don't we think? Did the national anthem tell you to calm down? No. Is it calm down, oh compatriots? No. Is it cool down, oh compatriots? No. What does it say? Now, when the politicians twist the populace to the point that they can no longer arise. Just like what happened in Lekki toll gates, where the youths, following what their own national anthem has told them, they arose. They came out in public. Who shot the youths? Who killed the youths? Who killed the youths? So when the youths arose, they did exactly what their constitution, what their national anthem told them to do, and these soldiers shot them. All options are on the table. If tomorrow the soldiers decide to do what the national anthem says, arise, O compatriots. Nigeria's what? Call. What do you do to the call? Obey. Be obedient. The national anthem has told you to be obedient when there is a call. There is a call at the moment. And if the youth tried it and they were shut down, and if another man with a gun decides to arise, he didn't do anything wrong. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Prof, I want you to come up for a minute. Please come up. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Chris Mwakobia, just a break in interlude. Just come up for a minute. Just come up here because you're going to be talking to us right now. By the way, one more time, put your hands together for Dr. Peter Piper for his submission. Professor Chris, I'm bringing you up not for your keynote yet, but because I needed to break something. Please come up here. You have to come up here. Just stand right there. If you want to sit, that's okay. But we want to ask you something very, very interesting because we are online, people are sending different questions, and this is directed to you because some people want to understand. Somebody said that you are a lawyer. They want to know. They want to know the difference between the question that is yours now. What they call the technical. Okay, good. Substantial and technical. What does that mean? Because we are hearing that on the grounds of technicality, anything is possible. We want to understand, just like Piper helped us to understand rerun and what? And runoff and off-run. What is it about this? We are lay people, so that tomorrow we are not confused about the televisation of what is going to happen tomorrow. And by the way, as you're answering that, as a lawyer too, we want to know, because some of the lawyers in both the PDP and the Labour Party and the APM had requested that the hearing be televised, but it was never televised. But now we are having the judgment being televised. We need you to attend to this as a lawyer yourself very quickly.
Well, about 4 weeks ago, I posted something that's been trending for a while now, which is no to technicalities. Oftentimes people hide behind semantics and mantra to deceive. Oftentimes people hide behind it to do injustice. Oftentimes people hide behind it to delude, denude, and cover truth. But here we have facts that are as lucid as daybreak. Here we have a case that is as glaring, like Gandhi would say, as the Himalayas. We have a case that is obviously incontrovertible. I've heard people talk about 25% of Abuja. What technicality will defeat that? I've heard people talk about the fact that there was a forfeiture in the US. What technicality will cover, throw that in the dustbin? I've heard people talk about double nomination. These are fundamental issues. You know, you can hide behind technicalities to deceive when the facts are not as glaring as Olympic. And so I have said, and I want to repeat here, it was one great author who said, oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we're practiced to deceive. Sir Walter Scott. They have thrown two teasers before the world, true teasers before you. Gazama has thrown his. Mary Odili, for all you care, I was thinking very early this morning, and I just said, oh, ODILI. What could that pass for? Is it overwhelming debauchery? Is it illicit, lascivious ideals? Those are the letters of that name. You know, we had before us the worst electoral larceny in our country's history. And someone is saying that if you go to court and you don't get justice, you be calm, don't pull down the roof. It was that Catholic American president that said a long time ago, John F. Kennedy, that those who make peaceful change impossible make violent change inevitable. These are truism beyond doubts. And when they try to tell you, because the new debate is not necessarily the difference between military rule and democracy, but they are trying to throw before us the difference between autocracy and military rule. And I think they are Siamese twins. One cannot replace the other. If you refuse to allow the rule of law, if you refuse to allow the transparency of the electoral process, if you refuse to allow the people to express their rights through transparent electioneering process, what do you get? At best, you get autocracy, and autocracy is not democracy. At best, you get what people have now couched as civilian coup. So, for those who think that the judiciary can hide behind technicalities and complexities, I think that the truth is that the first time in our historicity, and that's my word for those who think that the young people aren't doing enough. I think that the young boys and young girls, our brothers and sisters, and the obedience out there have broken all records across our world. In electioneering processes, they've taught the world a new lesson. You know what it is? From 2, 3, 4 persons tweeting in a room, we became the superstructure. You know, at some point they said we didn't have a structure, but we became the superstructure, and we won an election fair and square. And those who think that they are masters of subterfuge, deceit, debauchery, and larceny think that they can cower the people. I told one of my aides this morning, I said, well, I've made up my mind. If you come to my car, my truck out there, you see I have change of clothes, I have my toiletries. I'm used to it. I've made up my mind. And in my tweet yesterday, I told the world, I said, you don't beat a child and refuse a child the right to cry. Those who are threatening us have beaten us silly. They took our mandate away, and they don't want us to cry. Who does that? And I said, open the prison yards. Open the prison yards. Oh, well, they say, okay, he's used to it. Yes, I'm 52, interestingly. And of that 52 years of my life, I spent 8 years and 2 months in one custody or the other. So I'm a veteran in creative suffering. I'm not scared. I understand that creative suffering is redemptive. I understand that if you must save a nation and save a people, you must be ready to look in the eyes of a jailer and say, I'm here not because I'm a criminal. I'm here because my moral commitment to justice and to a better society is higher than yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof.
So do not worry. Victory will come. The darkest point of the night is closest to morning. I'll drop the mic on this note. I've always told those who care to listen to me that one of the strongest statements that appeals to my soul were those words written long time ago by James Russell Lowell. He said, wrong forever on the throne, truth forever on the scaffold. That same truth on the scaffold sways the future. For behind the dim unknown, oh yeah, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, you're bothered and you're troubled and you're giving up. Don't give up. Behind the dim unknown standeth God in the shadows, keeping watch above his own. They can't cower us. They won't take our victory and go to sleep. He who takes what belongs to a child and lifts his hands up will suffer the pain in our trophy. And I tell you, God on the throne, the victory we won on the 25th day of the second month of the year of our Lord 2023 is sacrosanct, and we will get it back. God bless you.
Hold on there, you. I mean, can we put our hands together for that? Even whether you understand it or not, a professor has spoken, so just clap and enjoy all the meandering of grammar and the eloquence of beautiful. Professor Chris Mwakubia, before I take the microphone from you and return back to you, please. Here are people who don't understand English too much. Tell us, show us an example. This, I don't know if it's a human being. This technicality, give us an example so that by tomorrow we will not be shocked. This technicality, give us a simple example. For example, if they say, based on whatever technicality, Atiku or Obi or somebody know, who be this technicality?
No, the few won't hide behind, the few won't hide behind issues, then go say, Peter Obi not join Labour Party 30 days before the election. And then who determines the lifespan of choice in political party membership?
So that's an example of technicality.
And the courts have settled that long time ago. They feel hide behind that. They feel hide behind the fact that this issue about forfeiture happened more than 10 years ago. And then they go hide behind the fact that, in some parts of the constitution, then go say, if it's more than 10 years, you can. They feel hide behind issues about this Abuja, 2/3 of, then they go say, okay, because some, they've thrown it in the public domain, that, if you've done more than 24 states, why not add, since he won up to 27 states, Abuja? But these are all deceits, because the law is clear. And you see, God who runs, that's why I quoted James Russell Lowell, truth forever on the scaffold, falsehood forever on the throne. Truth sways the future. Let me tell you how God orchestrated this moment. And some don't understand that there is the marvelous hand of God in what is happening in our country. This same chief judge of the federation ruled on some of these fundamentals. He was involved in deciding that 2/3 of Abuja must be complied with. He was involved in determining issues pertaining forfeiture. He was actually the one who said that forfeiture is punitive, is for a crime. It's not just a civil thing, it's criminal. And I don't know how he's going to eat
You mean he said all of these things?
I don't know how he's going to eat his vomit. That's why we're saying that the time has come for people to understand, really.
Oh, Prof, I'm going to get back to you, but it shows that tomorrow is going to be some interesting time in Nigeria and in Africa and in the world, don't you think?
Make them not try us.
Make them not try us. I'll be back to you shortly, but I want to ask Mr. Gambo right here.
Sorry, Mr. Moore, a quick one, please.
I'll get back to you.
Just a quick one, please. Sorry, sir.
Oh, okay.
Please. And I am not an obedient. I'm an articulate. I just want people to know. I just want people to get it clear. But doctor said something about being technicality of the thing, that Obi will be disqualified based on not joining the party 30 days after also. Well, the PDP took APC to court just recently, about Vice President, double nomination, Kashim, Shatima Kashim. And court says it's a party affair. So I believe that technicality,
wow.
it's a party affair too for the Labour Party.
Oh, I think that's a good one. That's okay.
Let me add to this.
Okay.
One of the things, because I was part of those electoral reform with Clark and Yaga, one of the things the 30 days wanted to cure was not for party registration as it relates to membership to contest election. It was the fact that primaries of political parties were riddled with irregularities and fraud. For the fact that party membership, when you want to do indirect or direct, they call it primaries, you need to register your members at INEC, in INEC, so that when the party primaries come for the direct primaries, that members of the party will participate. It do not be easy for the governors in the state, the emperors, and usually manipulate our electoral system to favor their selfish interests, to manipulate that primaries. So that was what the 30 days was meant to cure, not membership of a political party, because it's very clear that the Constitution said that you shall belong to a political party, an association, or a trade union that your interest is protected. And there was no gap to say, if you don't participate, if you don't join the party at this point in time, you will not be able to contest an election.
Wow.
Party membership is a continuous process. If you can even register a day before election, you can register on election day, because the Constitution has given that as a free movement. It's a freedom. It's your right. Right to participation, right to be involved.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we appreciate that? So we all know what technicality is, don't we? That demon or angel called technicality. Prof.
More can I say something that's
yes.
important? Because if you oblige criminality and wickedness, it's your failure. Until judgment is read tomorrow, the judges have all the time in the world to do what is proper, right, and right. So let us, like the evangelicals, keep them on their toes tonight. Let us tweet, talk, chat, use all the vehicles available. You know how we build this momentum? Let us do that every second, every hour, because you know what? Like my brother said, when there's a call to nationhood, arise and obey. We are the grail bearers of a hope that we represent. If you turn your eyes, the thief will steal it. We made mistakes post-election. And I'm not here to talk about the calmness or the meekness of our principal. My apologies to my brother here, who is with Atiku, because he stepped out on the street twice or so. But that's not the issue. We're at that point where it's your right to make sure that the judges do right.
Thank you.
We're at that point where you must keep them on their toes. We're at that point where you must tell them that you know the law. You know, it was Niyo Sundari that said a long time ago, who said, because they keep telling you, oh, you guys criticize too much, do you know the law? And he said, who says that a man cannot criticize the shape of a house except he's himself an architect? Nobody says that. I have read enough of the law. You know enough of the law. Every obedient today is by association a lawyer. Because every day you read a legal opinion. Every day you post and repost a legal opinion. So tell them that you know enough. Tell them that and does not mean what those who hate our country has been saying. That and means and. That if you get 24 states, you must get Abuja. If you don't have Abuja, you are an illegitimate president.
Thank you.
If you don't get Abuja, you are an impostor. Mo, I know you might not be used to this part, but please allow me 1 minute. Tweet it. If you're not strong enough, tag me, I will retweet it. Let us go ahead and tell them that this is a night of vigil. That we're standing toe to toe with you. I don't know whether you feel the pain I feel. I wake up in the morning I have like 100 text messages. I'm not a robber like them. It's one person saying, oh, no food in the house, no money here, no this, no that, no that, no that. And we have never seen this level of poverty before. And you think I can cope with this for the next 4 years? Who the hell is talking shit? How? Let them know. Tell the judges that we cannot stand this degree of madness. They can't give what they do not have. You can see it now. My late father said, when a man starts dancing, you know where the dance is headed. Their first few steps is 100 days now. What have they given you? Hunger, disease, despondency, want, frustration, suicide, torment, torture. Oh, come on. More.
Thank you. In 3 minutes, Dr. Barry, please come up here. We just want to, Dr. Barry, come. Just run up here quickly before I get to Mr. Gambo. Just come. I appreciate Dr. Barry as he comes up here. We just want to take some teasers from a few people. Dr. Barry, take the microphone. Tell us, can this government, this present government, can it ever have legitimacy?
No. Never.
Why?
The reason is because Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu remains an illegitimate president of Nigeria. Whether you like it or not, we are not going to take any bullshit from anybody. This is the last of the generation any government will mess with. I said it before and I will say it again. No Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. Nigeria belongs to all of us. If you sit down here and think because you ate granite and corn and drank water and you are still alive, you will not join us tomorrow, God will punish you and your generation. We are going to take Nigeria, whether they like it or not. I came here to tell the world that we need to end Nigeria. If the center cannot hold, let us end it. And let us be in the water. If you don't take Nigeria now, Nigeria will take you. If you believe, say I. If you believe, say I. If you believe, say I. If you don't believe, say nay. Give me one stick. The eyes have it. Come on. The eyes have it.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Barry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Barry. Thank you. The world is hearing you. We're here. I mean, because like I said before we started, for those who are shaky, CY is the chairman of the Bar Association. And he came out and he said that regardless of what you think or whoever anybody thinks, that Asiwaju is the president of Nigeria. And if they are bold enough to say it, don't let anybody cower you from saying your own. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. Can you hear me? Don't ever, that day will not be born where there will be people who can get up and just do anyhow they want, and we will not be able to do what we want. And if I hear what Professor Chris and others have said today, this technicality, any technicality that will stop Obi, that technicality will stop Atiku. That technicality will stop, it will stop Omilokon, because of all the people. There are more contradictions. There are more technicalities, even more for Asiwaju than any of them. Supposing that technicality will happen tomorrow. That's all we're saying. If technicality can happen, then in fact it will begin from number 1 downwards. Am I correct or what? But Uncle Gambo, can technicality ever be taken out of Nigerian court?
Me, I go stand up. Oh. Then they said then be 52, 32, 92. I am 66. When I went to school in France, I was spending naira. My BTA was 180 naira that my father gave me. 180, and that was what I was spending, naira. Not French francs, not pounds, not dollar. I was spending naira. My friends that went to US were spending naira. Those who went to UK, we were going on vacation, moving from one country to the other, spending naira. We started getting problem from Murtala. I'm giving you history. Going down because I've been in Nigeria. I refused to stay in France. Even when I have the privilege to do my PhD in France, I came back to Nigeria to do my education here because I was not accommodated. They said, in a sweet part bien adapté. I wasn't adaptable in France. Nigeria is my country. Coming back to the election, I'm surprised that I even have PDP here.
Sorry, for those who are going, I know we are live.
Yes, please.
Not that they can leave, but ensure that they get provisions, okay, so that it's okay. It's been a long day. Please appreciate those who are going. The hall has been filled to the brim. It's so beautiful. You go home, people are still watching, you continue to watch. Some are going as far. They're going very far, so it's important. That's okay. Please.
Now, because of why I come into Labour Party, to me, it was a desecration to identify myself with any other political party in Nigeria. I contested under Zero Party to be a member of the National Constitutional Conference during Abacha because it was Zero Party. Because I felt there was no party that was a party. It was a collection of rogues, a collection of thieves, a collection of oppressors, a collection of domineering people who want to oppress other people. And I am somebody who believes in freedom. And today, I stand on the platform of freedom. When Obi came out, I had to go down to dig about the man, Peter Obi, and I found out he's a man who never knew himself. He's a man who was protected, put a hedge around him by God Almighty.
We know you have given your life for this, we know that.
Now,
because we have so much to deal with.
Gentlemen, the legality issues, issue on legalities, I'm not one who fears. If you have handcuffs here, I know most of the DSS and whatever, I must have taught them. If you have handcuffs here, please, when I'm leaving, put one. I'm ready to take it. I've been there before. Technicalities is a farce. In this case, there is nothing that will come as technicalities. The judges know the truth. The truth, he has said it. It is crystal clear. 25% is crystal. He has been indicted on narcotics. He doesn't have NYSC. He doesn't have secondary school. He doesn't have... What does he have? Nothing. Why should he be my president? When I went to the university to secure all the degrees I have, and today I want an illiterate person to be my president. Not by my choice, not by your choice. Even if he said he scored 80 million votes, how many votes did PDP got? Another 8 million. They are claiming Labour Party had what? 6 million. 14 million Nigerians did say they don't like him. Why should he be our president?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Let's, we're going to run in where's the mic? Let me just take the mic. Yes. We're going to keep it within 2 minutes because we also have some people in the audience that we have to. Mama, give your message.
Yes. Good
2
afternoon,
minutes.
Obedient and any other person that is
Nigerians.
near. Nigerians. I am Mama Do, not Mama Yara, because we have different mamas in this journey that we are in. Yes, we were asked, why are women involved? Yes, gone are the days that women were not taking. Women were at home, taking care of the home. But when we discover that men cannot do it alone, we have to arise just like we are asked to rise. So we have to. Because if you go into a home that is having no woman, that home is not looking like a home. If Nigeria did not take women alone in their journey, in their planning, Nigeria can never be what we want it to be. It can't be a suitable place for us. That is why no woman, no nation. No woman, no home, no nation. And we also know that no man, no jiggy. Therefore, women should be allowed to have a say in whatever is happening. Before I left Nyanya today, as if I'll turn back, I said I'm not turning back. Because we went to different nook and corners of this nation in rallies, campaigning to see that our pains have been reduced by getting who we are looking for. But the pains increased when we did not get what we are looking for. I continue to encourage women, children, don't be tired, don't be frustrated. God in heaven knows what we are into. And God is not silent over the pains, the bad feelings we are going through. He knows what he's doing, and he will surely do what will salvage this nation. For me, children. I'm a grandmother. Children, because the pace is always in women and children. That is why we too come up. We arise. We have risen to see that we do what the first standard, the first sentence of the national anthem said. Thank you. I would not like to disturb, to waste most of your time. I can see some of us naga yanwana manza da mata anan. Za ku ce me ake fadi anan? Ya an kira ku kai ku zo kallon television. Ba television ba. Abinda za ta taimake mu ne. Tunda muka tashi daga farko mun shiga kowane lungu. Muna ta campaign. Mun gaji da wahala da muke ciki. Mu mama da yara mu muke shan wuyan. Kamun namiji ya zo uwa ta riga ta sha wuya ta gaji da yaranta. Shi yasa mu mata muka tashi mu ce bari mu shiga cikin jirgin tafiya nan mu ga inda zai kai mu. Saboda haka ka ku ce ba yi da yaren da za ku ji ba, ku kun gaji ba za ku zauna ba. Na ga yawancin ku suna tafiya, kar ku tafi, ku dawo mu zauna tare, mu yi yaki nan yanda za mu cice kanmu da kasar mu gaba daya. Na gode. Thank you.
The women have arisen. They've arose, they've all the rising, everything is already up, and there's no going down again. One more time, celebrate Mama, door to door, here today. In 2 minutes, let's hear from the young people, the young lady. Maureen, just make your submission quickly, and then we can go.
Are youth here? Are youth here? Are you risen? Are you still sleeping? Are we ready to stand? For how long are you willing to stand? Until our demand, until our rights are being given to us. I'm a youth. I know what I've done. I know how much I've invested. I know my sacrifices. And when someone said youths have not risen up, we have risen. We are not sleeping. The time which we were sleeping has passed. Now, let me give an example. The people that invaded the presidential villa in Sri Lanka were the youth. And they were not different from us. We have given everything. We have gotten all the encouragement, all the platforms to take what is ours has been given to us. It's our time to stand up for our right. The president, INEC select president, said they should take it, snatch it, and run with it. We are going to snatch our rights. We are going to take what rightfully belongs to us. We know our right and we are ready to do it. The judges, they know what to do. They do the right thing. And if they don't do the right thing, we are no longer sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll take it. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we appreciate Maureen representing the youth here? We'll take a submission from, because it came, Cargo, maybe you make your 2-minute submission and then we go back to Musa Bill Yaminu for his submission. Is that okay? Okay, now what we're going to do, you do your submission. Before you do that, Mama, we can excuse you now. You can go. Please put your hands together for Mama door to door. Also, Maureen, you can find your way. We have very salient, very serious questions from the online that we need to attend to.
but we'll just take 1 and 2 minute submission, clear the stage, and then we can do that. Is that okay? Yes. Is that okay?
I want to thank each and every one of you.
I'll go just 2 minutes so we can do
Yes,
that.
thank you. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. We, the PDP youth, are law-abiding citizens, and we respect the rules of law, and will forever respect that. But I have a message to Asari Dokubo. Some of us are more dangerous than Asari Dokubo. It's just that we are law-abiding citizens. Let him get that to his core, and we are ready for him tomorrow. Thank you.
It's important to know what the issues are. What are the issues? One, all Nigerians want is justice. All they want is justice, not colored in how they call it, criminalities. That's what Nigeria wants. Nigeria wants justice. Justice for their vote. Justice for their reality. Justice for the progress and development of our people. Nigerians have suffered enough. And this justice is the fact that INEC made promises. They made promises before the election. You can see Festus Okoye on TV making promises. Yakub Mahmoud was on TV making promises. What are these promises? The Electoral Act stated that INEC will make law, we determine by which way the election result will be transmitted. And INEC settled for dual transmission process, dual accreditation and transmission process, to say that the fact is that they will use IREF and they will use BVAS to transmit this result to an online portal. It is in their own written manual. It is in the written manual of INEC. These are the issues. And INEC said it in their written manual, signed by Professor Mahmoud Yakub, that when the election day comes, because the fraud in our electoral system is very clear, and the fraud occurs when you are transporting the election result from the polling unit to the ward collation center. Those who have powers, who have put our people in a state of endemic poverty, they will relay the result, they will rewrite the result, and they will announce the winner, because the law says anybody who has been announced, you cannot reverse except you go to court. That way, these are the issues. So INEC now agreed with international communities, with the Interparty Advisory Council. I was there. That's why it's so painful, and I believe them. PLAC did their own. Yaga did their own. INEC now agree that on election day, that they will transmit this through electronic device to give electoral integrity to our election, to give hope to our people. To our surprise, INEC stole that hope on election day. It was stolen. Because why? INEC shifted the goalpost on election day. And people started writing results. And people started manipulating the results. And for that reason, the vote you thumb-printed and thumb-printed for your own favorite candidate, for your own chosen candidate, as enshrined in our constitution, the authority given to you to elect whoever will govern us, was taken without your consent. And tomorrow, the judiciary should know that what we voted for was good road. What we voted for was somebody who have capacity and knowledge of the economic system. What we voted for was amenities in our communities. What we voted for is health care. What we voted for is good, free education for our people. What we voted for is subsidy with plans. Subsidy removal with plans. Not subsidy, not unplanned subsidy removal that has jacked the price of rice from 46,000 to 48,000 naira. Naira to 1,000, adding up to 1,000 naira. It has made the economic reality of our people so hard that, like my brother professor said, saying this in tears, that is so painful how Nigerians survive on a daily basis. We can't look, this country belongs to you. This country belongs to us. We are all stakeholders in the affairs of Nigeria. Nobody owns Nigeria more than the other. And I do not think that God made a mistake when he made us one country. I think that in our diversity, in our population, in our different culture and different tongues, we have made one great strength. And that's why we're the conquerors of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Peter Ame.